Hi guys, today's tutorial looks at the making of these three pieces in Blender 2.92. I'll be using KitOps 2 Pro and HardOps. KitOps is a kitbashing add-on developed by Team C that can drastically reduce the time it takes to produce detailed models that can be reused at the click of a button. KitOps is available in a paid as well as a free option, both being able to load and use material and model assets, but creation and editing being limited to the Pro or paid version. I've linked all the locations where you can find these add-ons and assets in the description below. Some of them will be affiliate links, which means that the channel will benefit from any purchase at no additional cost to you. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Create a 128-sided cylinder and move it up by 1 so that the bottom sits on the 3D cursor. In edit mode, create a loop with Ctrl R. Select the top face and scale it down to give the model a taper. Then chamfer it with Ctrl B. Do the same with the bottom face to give the light a nook to cranny. Using the Edge Loops tool, fill the middle section with loops that will result in relatively square faces. Select the newly formed square faces, go to the face menu and select poke faces. With the faces still selected, go back to the face menu and this time select tries to quad. Gambling a restraining order by going back to the face menu for a third time, select poke faces again. In the contextual menu that pops up at the bottom left of the screen, adjust the poke offset to an amount you're satisfied with. I added a bevel modifier on top of this to soften the edges, but a downside to this is a dip in performance, so do so at your own discretion. Next, select a circle and reduce it to a 6-sided hexagon. Enter edit mode, fill it with the F key, then exit edit mode. In the HardOps Q menu, add a bevel modifier to round the corners. Scale the hexagon to the size of the opening to be made. Add a solidify modifier to give it volume. Back in the Hops menu, hold down Ctrl and click Bevel to stack the modifier, reducing the segments to 1 to create a chamfered edge. Duplicate this model 3 times with Shift D. Move 2 of them into the main model as shown with G. Select one of the two, then select the main model, Q menu, select difference. Next, select the still floating chamfered prism, lengthen it in the solidify settings, then scale it down slightly before lowering it. Aligning it using X-ray view mode so that a lining can be formed after applying a difference boolean. Create a cube, scale it down, and apply a difference bool after selecting the lining piece. With the lining piece selected, Q menu, hold down Ctrl and click Bevel to stack it and soften the edges. You can apply material to the now completed lining. I went for one of the KitOps material K-packs. For the base, create a circle and duplicate it with Shift D. In edit mode, fill it with the F key, then exit edit mode. Apply a solidify mod that reaches just above the whole model after dropping it slightly below the surface using the G key. Select the new cylinder, then the base cube, hit Ctrl +- on the numpad. It's important it be this combination and not just another difference boolean. Now select the other circle and enter edit mode. Fill the circle with the F key. Apply some insets, moves, and bevels to give some dimension. Also add a material. I continued with the yellow theme. Place the outer edges flush with the main surface, and, when done lining up other faces, select all in edit mode and extrude with E to give thickness. Select the outer edge loop and soften with Ctrl B. That's it for modeling insert 1. In the name of conserving efforts, reuse some of the first model by dropping most of it below the surface and deleting from the top of the knurling down. Scale and move the remaining top face to a desired proportion, then bevel the edge. Select the bottom loop and extrude it downward for thickness. Add some loops and scale inward to create a shadow line. Adjust the heights and reapply the booleans of the opening, ensuring that the correct objects are selected. Having duplicated insert 2, delete the solid and bool geometry that formed the opening. create a circle, fill and scale it in edit mode, apply a solidify mod to a desired height, duplicate the cylinder and lower it into the base disk, applying a difference boolean. Slightly scale down the first cylinder and plunge it into the opening. Apply the solidify modifier and then enter edit mode. Extrude the top face as shown and chamfer the selected edges with Ctrl B. Exit edit mode and cue sharpen in HardOps. Back into edit mode, select the longer middle faces and add loops until they square. Following the same procedure, select the square faces, face menu, poke faces, face menu, tries to quads, face menu, poke faces one last time. In the bottom left contextual menu that pops up, adjust the poke faces offset figure till you get a result you like. Exit edit mode. You may apply a bevel mod to soften the edges. Back in edit mode, select the top face and, using scale and move along the Z-axis, create the dip as shown and Ctrl B the face to smooth the transition. I went back to the base and added a dip to subtly enhance the opening. I opted to apply many of the modifiers and delete some of the supporting models to declutter the finished pieces, at least for these three assets. Positioning insert 1 on the base cube, I extracted the cylinder cage using Ctrl plus numpad minus. Then parent the model components to the cylinder cage. With only the cylinder cage selected, click Create Insert in the KitOps menu. This will open the factory scene. Some operations for some reason were undone in this case, but were also a quick and easy fix. Test the parenting relationship to ensure all is connected. Name and save the insert in a folder, then click Render the thumbnail and save insert again for good measure. And that's really how quick it is. See how insert 2 hasn't been parented. I first apply all the mods, then delete the bool cages. I select all the pieces and then lastly select the cylinder cage. Right-click, Parent, Object. Test the connection by selecting and moving the cylinder cage around. Ensure all the origins of each individual piece align with the 3D cursor at the origin. Click Create Insert in the KitOps menu. Give it a name. Save it in the same folder. Render thumbnail and save insert again. Insert 3 follows the same processes as the others, with some adjustments here and there to suit. As you can see, there is an issue with this piece, and that's due to the location of the cage's origin. Back to edit mode in the original scene, the solidify mod is applied for the cage, then right-click, set origin, origin to 3D cursor. And that concludes this not-so-short tutorial. I hope it's been useful in some way. I'm glad to be using these add-ons again and will be making more tutorials in the future, posting models like these on Gumroad at no cost. Again, the links are in the description, and using them helps the channel at no extra cost to you. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.